Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And since we're well into smartphone season this January, I wanted to talk about today the Honor Magic 7 Lite. So not the Pro. So I have picked up the Pro and the Lite, but I've had the Lite longer. So I wanted to do an initial review on the Lite phone. So I've had it for a week now and I've really enjoyed using it. I wanted to share my opinions on it. So could this be the best budget smartphone of 2025? So let's start off with talking about the design of this phone because it's a very unique design, I think, for a budget smartphone. So the price of this phone is £399. And for that, you get 12 gigabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 gigabytes of storage. So, and a Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 or Gen 1 CPU. So it's not that powerful in terms of its hardware. But don't forget, this is a budget end of phone at $399. So we're looking at, is it the best budget phone of 2025 so far? So I think it possibly could contend to be. So it comes in two finishes. It comes in a nice sort of like grey black and a titanium purple. So they call it titanium. So it feels really light. It feels like it's a nice metal back finish. It doesn't really specify on the website whether it is actually got any titanium in it, whether it's just called that. So for $399, if it was titanium, that would be excellent value for money. I think it's more likely to be a titanium sort of aluminium hybrid. But if anyone knows any more about that, drop me a comment down below. So the weight of this phone is 189 grams and 7.89 millimeters thick. So this is a really slim phone. And Honor, honestly, it's a great design. So they've got on the back, they've managed to put a nice 3-camera setup which doesn't stick out too far on the back. And it's got a nice 108 megapixel camera on it. And it's actually got a curved screen, but because of the phone is so thin, I don't actually mind using the curved screen on this phone. So I'm normally not a fan of curved screens. I normally find them a bit hard to use. But honestly, this is the best curved screen that I've tried on a phone. And yes, the curved screen is a bit old-fashioned, but it's probably they're probably taking a screen out of an old model phone to use on this. But it's still a great screen. It still looks really good. Like honestly, flicking through the graphics feels fine. Like there's no problems at all with the design on this. It feels really nicely designed and a really good, durable quality phone. So Honor are marketing this phone really as for the durability of it and its battery life. So we'll go over that next. Let's get into the let's look at the performance of it and the durability of it. I think that's the most important thing on this phone. So Honor are making some big claims about this. And when they sent it out to a lot of reviewers, they sent them out with a kit bag saying not fragile on it, which I saw a lot of people put on online. And they gave them screws and bits and bobs to try and damage their phone with, because they were saying this is such a tough made phone that it won't be able to be damaged. So he's able to actually, you can use it caseless really because it's that tough. And you can drop it from 2 meters according to Honor with no damage whatsoever. I haven't tried it and it's my phone. I paid my own money for it, so I don't want to damage the phone. But to be honest, it does feel really tough, and I haven't got any worries about it. Like I've used this caseless since I bought it, and I've not had any problems with it at all. It's not scratched or scuffed or anything, and I've not been that careful with it. So to be honest, it's so far it's doing really well. So it's only IP64 water resistant. So it's not actually, so they've got it going on about the toughness and everything like that, but it's not actually in terms of water resistant. It's only IP64. When you look at the OnePlus 13 IP69, the Honor Magic 7 Pro IP69, so there's quite a big difference on this. So I wouldn't go throwing it in the water just yet. It should be able to survive a quick drop in or maybe a quick splash, but nothing else, which is fine. Like it is a 399 phone, so you can't expect the world. So in terms of its performance, so it's got a Snapdragon 6 CPU in it. So when I first loaded the phone up and transferred all my files across, it did take quite a while to start get going. It felt like a bit sluggish compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3s and the Elite chips I'm used to using in the high sort of higher end phones. It did feel quite sluggish. But once it got set up, it feels fine. Like honestly, to use in everyday use. It's not got the latest Wi-Fi standards on it. It's not got the fastest 5G. It's not got the fastest Bluetooth. It doesn't support lossless over Bluetooth. So there's quite a few features there that have been cut out to get to this price level. But if you're not bothered about any of that, you just want a durable phone with decent performance and one that you can do has a relatively good camera on, then this is the one you should look at, because the cameras, which we'll get onto in a minute, are excellent. So in terms of battery life, it has a 6,600 milliamp battery in this phone. So this is meant to last 3 days according to Honor, and I've got no doubt it would last 3 days. I've used it intensively for 2 days and it's still left with 50% battery. It is a battery beast of a phone, and that's what Honor are marketing it as, having. So not marketing it as a performance powerhouse, they're marketing it for the battery life, for its durability as a budget smartphone. And I think it is great. Like, it has an optical fingerprint reader on the front, so that works well. I'm not necessarily a fan of optical ones. I prefer the ultrasonic ones, but the optical one, this seems to work pretty well. The screen looks really good, and when it's all set up, the Honor Magic system runs really well. So it is Android 14 based. It's Magic 8 on this, not the latest. Not the latest Magic 9, which is on the flagship phones. Just to be aware of that, which misses out on some AI features and things like that. But the Magic 8 is fine. Like, honestly, I've got no concerns about the operating system. It runs really well. I love the Magic OS. I've got it on my main phone, Magic V3. It runs really well, so don't be worried about it in terms of performance. I think if you're playing the latest high-end games, it's going to stutter a bit, but it does run. I tried some games on it, and they do run okay, but not at the highest frame rate, so it's not a gamer's phone. It is aimed at the mid-market, someone who needs to go out and about in the wilds and wants a decent, durable phone and know it's not going to break. So if that's you, definitely this is one to consider, and if you need that battery life as well. So another claim Honor made on the durable side of things, they're saying this can survive in the hot and cold, so down to minus 30 or plus 55 degrees. So they were saying to people, leave it in the freezer overnight, and they did, and then came back to it and it was working fine. So again, to highlight that they're aiming at, they really are aiming this at the durable market, people who are going to be out and about in the desert or out and about on mountains and need a durable phone. This is what they're marketing it as a really tough standard phone. Maybe you don't want the flagship phone, you're worried about spending that much money and going to break it. So this one is one to consider, definitely, if you're in that category. If you do a lot of rock climbing, if you're out and about, if you're an outdoorsy type person, this may be one to consider for 2025. So you think about, let's look at the screen now. So you think about the price point, $399. So what do you get for on an iPhone 16 non-Pro phone? You get a 60 hertz screen, OLED. What do you get on an Honor phone for $399? You get 120 hertz, 4,000 nits, 1.5K resolution, full high definition support, 1 billion colors. It is a great screen. You watch video on this screen, it looks fantastic. Compared to the iPhone, it absolutely annihilates it for the money. Like, honestly, like Apple, you need to give us 120 hertz refresh rate on the iPhone 17 because it's just getting left in the dust with these phones. Honestly, these Chinese manufacturers are bringing out some great phones, and the build quality is well up there with the iPhone. It feels great. Like, so, why are people buying iPhones just for the Apple brand? And Apple are really going to start to lose out. They've recently been told that their AI system's got to go out to the drawing board. So Google AI is way ahead of them on these phones, and it's just, Apple need to get their act together in this 2025. They cannot afford this year to launch another phone which has not got enough features on it. It needs to be a really good upgrade on the iPhone 17. And from some of the rumors I've heard, there is going to be. So let's get into the cameras now. So sorry, I made a slight mistake earlier. It is actually only a dual camera setup on the back with some sensors. So it has a 108 megapixel camera on the main side of things, so you can zoom right in. And it also has a 5 megapixel ultra wide, which does let the side down a bit because it only is 5 megapixels. So it looks a bit naff on some of the photos, but it's still not bad for the price range. It does shoot in 4K 30, I think it does on the main camera, and it has a 10 times digital zoom, so it's not too bad, and you can shoot in full resolution on the 108 megapixel, which gives you some great shots. So the video performance is not bad, compared to like the OnePlus 12 13R and the other budget side of phones in this price range. It's fine. It competes pretty well. So if you're not into that, doing content creation, this could be easily a phone for you. I wouldn't recommend it as a main phone for a content creator. I don't think the cameras are quite as good enough for that, but you wouldn't expect it in that price range. So the front camera is 16 megapixels, and it's not bad. It's okay for FaceTime call, WhatsApp calls, and Google Meet calls, Zoom, whatever. It's okay. It's not a bad camera on the front. It's nothing like the OnePlus 13 camera. That's amazing. This is not. It does support up to 1080p recording on the front camera, which is fine. It has portrait mode and all the usual AI features on it, and it has a 2D recognition on your face. So the new Magic 7 Pro has 3D recognition, face unlock, like the iPhone range, and works very similarly. This one doesn't. So I think this is not a bad phone for the price range in terms of its camera performance, and I wouldn't. It's more like a nice to have feature, the camera on it, and it's not going to blow you away. But I'll show you some sample shots compared to the on it, and I think it's nice how they designed the camera module like this, and it's the 108 megapixel main camera is the star of the show really, because that is a great camera. Like it offers some really good shots. It's one that came over from the last previous generation model. We've seen it before a few times. It's a good camera. It offers decent performance. Low light performance is a bit lagging on the low light side of things, but the actual everyday usable camera on it. So if you just want to use the main camera, doing a bit of 4K shooting on the main camera, and also the some photographs on the main camera, then you'll get some good shots. Just don't rely on the ultra wide too much, especially in low light, because that really does fall apart in low light. So in conclusion then, who should buy the Magic 7 Lite? So I think it's for anyone who is on a budget, because it's $399. You do get a free gift for that. I got a pair of free over-ear headphones, not over-ear ones, like in-ear hook-on design headphones, which I'll do a review on, which were £149. So that was a very good deal by Honor. So I think it's for anyone who wants a tough smartphone, is on a budget, wants a decent battery life, is not too bothered about performance, won't play games on it, not too fussed about the cameras, because it shares the name with the Magic 7 Pro and the Magic 7 Lite, and the camera difference is quite substantial. So don't buy the Magic 7 Lite thinking that it will give you similar performance to the 7 Pro in terms of its cameras, because it doesn't. They're miles away from each other in terms of the camera performance. It might say it has a 108 megapixel main camera, and the main camera is fine, like it's okay, but it's not as good, anywhere near as good as the Magic 7 Pro cameras. They are much better. So just be wary of that when you're thinking about buying this phone. Like it is great, well made for the price. It's great build quality. It runs great software. So if you're after a budget smartphone in the 399 category, I think it's definitely worth a look. It feels like it'll be made to last. It's got a really big battery, a great screen, and it's got usable cameras on it for everyday snapshots. So I think take a look at it, try it out, and if you are looking in this price range. Thank you for watching, and now it's over to you. So please comment down below if you've got any questions. Let me know if I've missed anything, want me to cover anything else, and just start talking about it down below. So thank you very much for watching as always. Please do give me a thumbs up if you like the video. It means the world to me if you do. Thank you so much. And also please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.